On the back of every admission ticket for every race around the world, it says motor racing is dangerous. Much has been done, however, over the years to make it safer. The cars themselves have got more sophisticated equipment and, of course, they've been constructed in a stronger way. The racetracks themselves have removed a lot of the unnecessary hazards. The driver equipment, that's become better. Crash helmets and uniforms. But perhaps the area where most improvement has been shown is that in the area of medicine. There's one man who goes to all of the Grand Prix right now, and he is in charge of all medical facilities and everything that requires any driver injury or looking after a driver's need. That man is Professor Watkins. He's head of neurosurgery at the London Hospital. Things have changed a lot on the medical front in those 20 years.
Yes, they have. We've moved in several different directions. I suppose the overpowering change in concept was the rapid response concept, so that we take the medical facilities and the resuscitation facilities to the driver at the scene of the accident as soon and as quickly as possible. We try to be there within 90 seconds. That's the ideal.
Now, you have special vehicles for this.
Yes, special vehicles have been developed. They're called rapid response vehicles. They're driven by an experienced race driver. They are manned by teams of doctors and drivers who are used to working together and used to dealing with the sophisticated equipment that they now have on board.
And you do have, of course, a great deal of equipment on board.
Yes, indeed. Here again, there have been major advances in firefighting, and the sophisticated vehicle such as we're standing by carries a firefighting capability, the driver being, again, an experienced firefighter.
Now let's have a look at some of that equipment.
Well, having rendered the situation safe with the use of the fire equipment, if it's necessary, the primary thing then is to make sure that the driver has an adequate airway, so that there is plenty of oxygen and circulation going to the driver's brain and principal organs. In order to achieve that, these cars carry resuscitation equipment to intubate, to put a tube down into the driver's lungs, oxygen to provide the supply from cylinders. There are intravenous perfusion sets, fluid to replace any blood loss or shock that the driver has suffered. And the whole purpose of the second stage, if you like, after making sure that the driver is safe in terms of protection from fire, is to stabilize the situation in the car, because so frequently nowadays with complex cars like the Formula 1 car, the driver is trapped and it may take a long time to get him out. So what we want to avoid is tearing a driver out of a car in a terrible hurry in order to resuscitate him. We avoid that now by doing it in the car. The airway is taken care of, the circulation is dealt with intravenous apparatus, and then having got the driver into a safe condition from the medical point of view, he can then be extricated in an orderly and calm way. Sometimes it's necessary to take the car to bits around him.
And you have the equipment to do that?
We now have the equipment to do that. In the first instance for that, there's a need for hydraulic spreaders, so-called jaws of life in the United States. There are power cutters and power saws in order to part the metal or part the carbon fiber of which the cars are now composed.
And of course the drivers can then be taken quickly to a first aid facility, which is also very sophisticated.
Yes, at all the Grand Prix circuits now there is a medical center which has been equipped to the same level as a modern intensive care or intensive therapy unit in a modern hospital.
How many doctors and help do you have for a Grand Prix, at each Grand Prix?
Well, for example, at this one, apart from the 3 Porsches that you see here, there are 5 other rapid response vehicles that are similarly equipped and teamed with teams of doctors on board each of these vehicles. And then there's a medical center with a team of doctors there, of surgeons, anesthetists, intensivists, x-ray capability, and radiologists to interpret the x-rays.
So, as you can see, an enormous amount has been done in the medical front. This has probably been the greatest progress over those 20 years in safety.